Welcome to your PAATC mailroom training. Today, we'll be looking at the SendPro C's basic operations. At the end of this training, you'll be able to print postage directly to an envelope, feed envelopes into the device properly, refill label postage, correct postage errors, redate your mail, and replace the ink cartridge. This training will be segmented into 6 different parts, so feel free to jump to the different sections as needed. To begin, let's take a look at the most common action you'll be performing with the SendPro C, which is printing postage directly to an envelope. Start by tapping Envelope Printing. Next, tap Account Required and select an account. Back at the mail screen, tap Class. Now, select Start Over to display a list of all the mail class options. Tap a class to continue. In this example, we're going to select First Class Retail Metered. Next, tap Letter. And if you need to add any extra services, tap the service you want. In this example, we're not going to add any extra services, so you can just press Apply. Now you're ready to weigh your mail. Place the envelope on the scale and wait for a few seconds while it calculates. When the new weight appears, you're ready to print. Place your envelope on the deck and it automatically prints your postage. Continue in this fashion for as many envelopes as you need postage printed. Now let's take a look at feeding envelopes into the device properly. For your first envelope, hold the far edge of the envelope against the back wall of the feeder. Slide the envelope into the feeder until you feel it touch the rollers. You'll hear the feeder motor start. Don't release the envelope until the feeder grabs it to pull it into the machine. Continue to feed the envelopes one at a time, simultaneously pressing the edge of each envelope against the back wall of the feeder and into the feeder until it just touches the rollers. Make sure the envelopes fully exit the feeder and do not pile up on the edge of the deck. You may need to adjust the stacker tray to be longer if one is used. If you don't hold the envelope against the back wall, it can feed in crooked or skewed. A skewed envelope can either exit the machine with no postage applied or cause a jam. The message "Clear Paper Jam" would appear in the display. In order to clear the jam, turn the paper jam lever clockwise and clear the envelope. Then turn the lever back to the locked position. You may now continue printing as before. Make sure that once the feeder grabs the envelope, you don't try to remove it and refeed it, because this will also result in a clear paper jam message. Now let's take a look at how to add postage to your trackable labels or shipping labels account. The SendPro C uses 2 separate postage accounts, one for trackable labels or shipping labels, and one for envelope printing. Before you add postage for trackable labels or shipping labels, you must have funds available in your reserve account or be using purchase power. To add postage, tap the Settings gear in the global toolbar and scroll down to the Shipping Refills. Tap Shipping Refills, and your meter will display your current postage balance. Tap the Refill Postage button at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Enter the amount you wish to refill, and tap the Refill Trackable Label Postage button. The account will take a moment to refill, and finally come to the Refill Complete screen. Tap Done, and you will see your new balance. Tap the Home icon in your toolbar to return to the home screen. Your account has now been refilled. With the SendPro C, you can also correct the postage amount. Say, for example, you printed postage on an envelope, and you realize you didn't print enough. You can fix this by printing more postage onto the same envelope. Start by tapping Envelope Printing. Next, tap Account Required and select an account. Back at the mail screen, scroll to Print Mode and tap it to change it from postage printing to postage correction. Select postage correction and then apply. Next, tap the postage amount and use the keypad to enter more postage. Let's say we're short 25 cents for the required postage. Here is where we'll type in the difference. Tap the check mark when finished. Now you're ready to fix the amount by printing the additional postage. Place your envelope on the deck to print the new postage amount. Make sure you're printing on a blank area of your envelope. When it prints, look for the word correction on the postage mark. Here's what it looks like. Your envelope is now ready to mail with the corrected amount of postage. The SendPro C also allows you to redate your mail. This is useful if you've already printed today's date and postage, but you missed the mail pickup. In this case, you'll need to reprint a future date on the back of your envelope before you can mail it. This is how you redate your mail. Start by tapping Envelope Printing. Next, tap Account and select an account. Back at the main screen, scroll to Print Mode and tap it. Tap Date Correction and then Apply. Tap the date and either select tomorrow or choose another date. In this example, we're tapping tomorrow. When tomorrow's date is selected, tap Apply. Now you're ready to print the new date on your envelope. Turn your envelope over to the blank side and place it on the deck. It automatically feeds through the machine. When it prints, look for the word Redate on the postage mark on the back of your envelope. This is what it looks like. Your envelope is now ready to print. Now let's take a look at how to replace the ink cartridge. To replace your ink cartridge, first tap the settings gear on the top right corner of your home screen. Next, select Mail Printer Maintenance. Choose the Install Ink option, and your screen will now show you Mail Printer Access, and your ink is ready to be installed. Lift the front cover of your SendPro C, and the cartridge carriage will slide toward you for access. Use the green release latch to open the safety, and remove your empty ink cartridge. Carefully take your new ink cartridge from its wrapping and press the cartridge, label side facing you, securely into its carriage until you feel it click into place. Close the safety latch, close the front cover, and the ink carriage will return to its home position. Select Done on your maintenance screen, and your SendPro C is now ready to print. Thank you for joining us for your PAATC mailroom training on the SendPro C's basic operations.